I am Katharina Michio, and you are watching YankeeMania.
I'm Kayla Walsh, and you're watching YankeeMania.
Hi, my name is Maria Venuto, and you are watching New York Yankee Mania.
I'm Marnie Schneider. I'm the author of Football Freddy, and I am so excited to be part of the New York Yankee Mania show.
Hey, everybody, it's Ian Eagle. You are watching Yankee Mania, the best.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to YankeeMania show, along with Sean Browning, one of our main hosts of the show, of this panel. My name is Nitin Ramachandra. I just want to say good morning, everyone, to the chat. You guys are in for a treat today because my team and I booked one of our great clients and good friends, Gary Reasons, to come on this show, two-time Super Bowl champion for the New York Giants. So whoever's a New York Giant fan, please get your questions ready. And it's going to be a special treat, man. And obviously, what a great career. He's a great friend of ours and obviously one of our clients. And he had an amazing career. He played with the in the 80s era with the Giants and obviously won two Super Bowls. And one of the most underrated linebackers to play the game. And he'll be joining soon. But he also is working on a project when it comes to keynote speaking with this book. And I'm glad to be part of that. So we're working on booking some speaking engagements for him with this book and keynote speaking for him. So we'll get to all of that. But Sean, thank you for joining. Obviously, you do a great job with whenever we bring our other clients on, and you do a great job with the interviews. So Sean, talk about today and how excited are you for this one?
Oh no, I'm excited though. I mean, as I was brushing up on. Not only was he an accomplished player, two-time Super Bowl champion, played for coaches like, Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick and Tom Coughlin with the Giants. But he was a coach. He was a sideline reporter, a host with college football. He had a legendary career at Northwestern State in Northwestern Louisiana and Division I AA. But also, I noticed, too, he had a brief history as being an owner of a arena football team, during that short period in the early 2000s, early mid-2000s, when they had Arena Football League. I mean, this guy's been top to bottom, had his own business, too, on the side. Family. So, I mean, we're talking about a legend inside and out that we're going to have today. And Gary Reasons.
And you guys are in for a treat, guys. So my team and I are glad that we can help you out with this one. And guys, get your questions ready. Whoever's in the chat, get your questions ready. Good morning, Nosebleed. It should be a fun one here. But Sean, while we wait for him, talk about. So yesterday we had a great stream, the Sunday night recap, and we went over everything pretty much. Yankees. Obviously, the full team reported yesterday. Just talk about how excited you are, Sean, and let's talk about from yesterday's show. But how excited are you that they're close to playing games here this week? This coming up this Friday.
Oh yeah. This Friday is going to be the first game. Yeah, the first game. Saturday is going to be the first televised one, and the game that we get to bring up, along with the Yankees, the Ugly Truth. But no, I'm excited, especially the fact that Garrett Cole, our ace, Coltrane, is ahead of schedule. And him and even Carlos Rodon, the Bulldog, they're ahead of schedule. There's a possibility that we'll see them in spring training games and knocking out some of their rehab there. So, I mean, that's exciting. But then also the secret weapons and Ryan Weathers and others that we have in that bullpen. I'm excited just to have baseball back.
Yeah.
But, I think a lot of people want to brush aside and downplay what Brian Cashman did, but he improved our bullpen, our bench, and he improved around the margins of our team. And the core of the team, yes, was pretty much the same than what we had last year. But you don't realize how key it was to bring back Cody Bellinger as a linchpin to help Aaron Judge in our lineup. It deepens our lineup, but also what Trent Grisham can bring to our lineup besides just his defense. But he
Yeah,
was clutch with us. And then you got these young guys that are developing. And then you get a Paul Goldschmidt on a bench, 1-year deal to mentor a guy like Ben Rice. That's just, to me, I'm like, that's remarkable. But then you also bring up the other guys that traded for pieces for the bullpen arms, the strengtheners, Ryan Weathers, Savali, and all those other guys. I'm happy. I'm like, let's go.
yeah, I can't wait. Especially obviously the trade that we made with the Rockies, and obviously getting Rafael Montero.
Mm-hmm.
That could be an underrated signing, and obviously this year the Yankees definitely have a much improved depth when it comes to bullpen, the bench. But they still, hopefully there's still more moves to be made. But like I said, rise of now, I think they're better, well constructed, and you'll see a lot. Obviously, the main thing is these young players, man, like Elmo Rodriguez, Cruz, Carlos Legrand, and you're seeing the potential of Legrand hitting 102 miles already in spring training, and Aaron Boone compared him to Dallin Betances, which is a good comparison too. So we have to look. We're looking for an 8th inning guy, so which is crazy to think about. But either Rafael Montero could be that guy, or Legrand could be that guy potentially. So I think this spring training is the most like I keep saying this, intriguing one, and I can't wait for the games to start because you're going to get to see a lot of these young guys potential.
Yeah. And like I said, and we're still looking for a true leadoff guy, but guess what? We might have him in camp already. Caballero can be a leadoff guy. There's a few other people who can do leadoff guys. It's up to them to prove it. We might even maybe even we will trade down the road during spring training for a guy that can truly be a leadoff guy to bat in front of Aaron Judge and Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, we have our starter here. Please. Let's welcome my friend, my good friend, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and Gary Reasons will be joining now. He is backstage whenever he's ready. Joe, you can bring him up. 2-time Super Bowl champion from the New York Giants. There he is, my good friend. What's up, Gary? How you been?
I'm doing well. Hello, guys. How's everything today?
Good.
It's going all right.
So thank you for joining this show, and this is the Joe today. Joe is working the backstage stuff, and this to my right, this is Sean, and Sean, this is our good friend, 2-time Super Bowl champion Gary Reasons from the New York Giants, and man, what a resume he had. Obviously, playing with the great defenses with my mentor Leonard Marshall, Lawrence Taylor. Played with great coaches and Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells. So looking forward to talking to him again, and he's working on a big project when it comes to his book, and I'm glad to be a big part of that, and we'll get to that later. But Sean, I want you to start this off with Gary. So if you want to start it off.
Well, hello, Mr. Reasons, and thank you for coming on and taking time out to be with us today. And might I say, I want to congratulate you. Had a legendary college career at Northwestern State in Northwestern Louisiana, and you had a legendary career, though, and maybe some is underrated because you played with other stars like, Lawrence Taylor and all those and the legendary teams of the Giants teams. But what was it like when you got drafted in 1984 in the 4th round and the New York Giants called your name?
It was a unique experience. I had good inclination that I was going to be drafted in fairly high, 4th round being my selection time. Back then, the draft was held on consecutive days. They didn't do it all in one day. Then they had 10 rounds or 12 rounds, whatever it was. So it was a little bit different than it is today. So I wasn't selected on the first day. So they had the 1st and 2nd round on the first day, and then the next day I got selected. So it was interesting. So me coming from Texas and all the way out to school in Louisiana, it was a unique experience. Had a chance to share that with my teammates, the selection process, and my wife to be at the time, and so we had a good experience there, and it was fun to be able to be amongst some of the potential elite players being selected in the draft that season. 1984 was tremendous. Obviously, history for the New York Giants. It worked out really well that draft with Carl, myself coming in on the defensive side, and William Roberts and Lionel Manuel on the offensive side. We had and Jeff Hostetler. Don't forget Jeff, because he was in that draft as well. So there was a good group coming in with that draft, and to be a part of that. You really never know where you're going to go, especially back then, because this was pre-internet. Okay, so we didn't have all the tools and things that people would ever lean on communication-wise today. And I had to kind of just go by what was being told to me from some of the scouts that came through and everything. So really, with the Giants selecting me, they really hadn't given a big indication that they were going to be in the market for an inside linebacker. But, as we all know, in the history has shown that, they were ready to move forward. Bill was ready to move forward from Brian Kelly and Brad Van Pelt, moving them off the roster and then moving in Carl and myself. So that was kind of it. And that was behind the scenes. I didn't know that at the time. But, hey, for me, a kid growing up in Texas, playing high school football in Texas, moving on to college, being a 3-time All-American and ultimately into the National Football League, it was an exciting time.
Oh, yeah. Bob, in our email, he asked a question, and I was kind of wondering, what's it like winning in New York?
Mhm.
Well, it's a tremendous market. There is no doubt about that. The fanfare is great. Obviously, the New York Giants have history on both sides of the Hudson there, and it's pretty cool to be a part of a metropolitan area that is in the massive millions of followers and fans. And I don't say that lightly, because it's a great fan base, very energetic fan base. Even though you have all of the big players in Manhattan and so forth, it's still, I call it a blue collar kind of community. New Jersey certainly at that time was kind of that, and I think we embodied that culture that we played on the field, being physical, being tough, being always prepared and bringing our best every single day. That was kind of who we were back then, and it resonated with the fans. And so it was a pretty great experience when we were out in the community or when the fans were around us, and obviously at the stadium, the old Giant Stadium. It was like no other. So I really appreciated the time there, learned so much from my teammates, the organization, the community, and really being around sports in the New York area is really something special, and I don't take lightly.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions coming in now from Joe's email here. So another one here from Ava. She wants to know, what do you think of the new Giants head coach and John Harbaugh?
Well, I actually think that John Harbaugh is a very good fit for the New York Giants, and I think that he brings all the credentials necessary to step in front of the team and on day one and earn the team's instant respect. And I think that's not something that you say lightly, but he's been there, done that, and he's a guy who's seen a lot of football. He's been one champion. He's a championship coach, and I think that that's going to pay big dividends for the Giants this season and beyond with him at the helm. So I wish him success. I haven't dug into yet his coaching staff as far as he's assembling them now and getting those shared out, but I'll look at those guys a little bit further. But John himself, I think he is an excellent choice, an excellent fit, and I think he's the right leader for the Giants at this time.
Yeah, and before we get to Teresa's question here, speaking of coaching, some people might not know about this about you, Gary. You used to do some coaching yourself too. Talk about that, and what was that like being a coach? And would you say that learning from Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells or like a Tom Coughlin, but would you say those coaches got you ready to become a potential coach also?
There's no mistaking about it. I was similar in style of coaching that Parcells, Belichick, Tom Coughlin, all of those guys, kind of hard and physical and tough, and just being straightforward with players, teaching them correctly, and don't cut corners, don't cut things, and you have to do that. I had the ability to coach. I chose to step into the broadcast booth after playing in the NFL, and I've done that for 30 plus years. But along the time, I had a stint there where the calendars kind of matched up, where I was able to coach at was the head coach of an arena football team in the spring and still broadcast in the fall. So it worked out well, and I liked it back then, of being able to do that, because I was mentoring and being able to shape some of these younger players who still have aspirations of potential NFL careers and trying to move forward. We did have actually a couple of guys from my team move on to the National Football League, which I found was really exciting for them, and really for the entire Arena Football League, to have guys move on to that level, and being a part of that, their evolution and their development is really what coaching is all about. You know, your instructors, your teachers, you're trying to do that, and their success kind of really they embody what you teach them, and their success is something that you shared with them a little bit about, and it's pretty warming.
Yeah. Well, then Teresa asked, what was it like playing the 49ers and the Cowboys?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we chalked it up as normally a win. all except for one time there. We tried to get in the playoffs, so we got beat a little bit. But beside that, we had a really great experience with the 49ers and the Cowboys. Obviously, the Cowboys being a division opponent, you get to play those a couple of times per season. I grew up in Texas. You know, I grew up a Dallas Cowboy fan. The Dallas Cowboys had a chance to draft me. They chose to pass. They didn't do that. They had a couple of earlier picks they could have taken me, but as it turned out, that didn't happen. So I found my way in New York, and it was a great fit for me. But those two teams in particular, the Cowboys and the 49ers, obviously great rivalries, and I'm glad that. We played in an era against the 49ers when Joe Montana and Steve Young were there with that team. Joe, obviously, a storied quarterback, and Steve turned into that as well. There's no doubt that they had a very talented team, and they had great structure with their coaching staff. Their two head coaches through that time, similar to us in New York with Parcells and Belichick under him as a defensive coordinator. We really had a great experience with playing both of those teams, but I'm glad we came out on top of most of the time.
Yeah, speaking of Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, I had when I was in San Francisco last week for Super Bowl week, I had the opportunity to connect with Jerry Rice and Joe Montana at a golf course at one of their events, and both are great guys. And we talked to Jerry. I chopped it up with Jerry Rice for 5 to 10 minutes. What a great guy, and obviously Joe Montana. And
yeah, well, Jerry and I are good friends. He's actually an FCS football player. He played at Mississippi Valley State, and I was the host and MC of the FCS National Awards for almost 2 decades, and I really have a lot of affinity towards the FCS level of football. It's Division I college football, but just not the FBS level. But there's third of the NFL is made up of FCS players. But Jerry and I, he's got a named award for him in the FCS National Awards, which I was very pleased to give out. And Jerry has attended and shared the National Award ceremony for the last several years, and we really appreciate that. He's a great guy, and he's a great someone you can point to from the level of football that I played at, that this is a guy that is one of the most elite athletes in the world, and he accomplished so much. He's in these halls of fame, and it's something that players at the FCS level can look at guys like that. And I was very successful, 3-time All-American and College Hall of Famer, all that good stuff. But Jerry really at the NFL level, 20 years in the league and playing at the elite level that he had. Oh my God, that's tremendous. Thanks for Jerry for being a great role model.
Oh yeah, he was great. He was great to connect with for a little bit when I was there last week. But I'm loving this fan interaction. So we're gonna get to more fan questions here for Gary. So here, Kevin asked, do you wait 1 week for Super Bowl to play, or how is your mindset?
Back in the day, we had the extra week. The first Super Bowl we had for Super Bowl 21, we had an extra week of preparation. It really helps, not so much for the game plan and the gameplay, but it helps because of family and getting those types of travel arrangements and business like that out of the way. And when you can separate that and prep your football preparation, it kind of makes it a little easier on players. Not having a week, we had that in Super Bowl 25. Everything was done in a hurry, and you had to plan before the NFC Championship game of really what was going to happen on the next Monday. It was just really difficult to do in that short period of time. So I think that's the question that was being asked. How did you prepare for that? And that extra week kind of made it long too. It kind of felt like it was an eternity since we played a game, and certainly we were ready to go in Super Bowl 21.
Yeah.
Oh, in that 2 weeks or 1 week, when you're preparing for the Super Bowl, does rust kind of set in there, or you guys like wired all that from to go?
No, I don't think there's ever going to be a rust situation set in for any team. You're excited. The energy level is high. If you look at this last Super Bowl, immediately as the game is starting, you can feel the energy of the players coming off the field through the television stream, and it's almost there like you're experiencing. I think that is exactly what happens. So there's not that lull that you would expect possibly from teams. They're going to be sharp. They're going to be crisp. That's what you have to do to go in there and possibly put yourself in front and win a championship. And but no rust when it comes to playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of hard balancing that the press obligations, and then especially with the press week, and then staying prepared for a game, right?
Yeah, it's funny. I've got some private video of in our Pasadena week out there where we were getting ready for Super Bowl 21. I've got a video. I had a video camera, and I gave it to one of the assistants, and he took it all around the field. We were in a little practice stadium for that, and so I've got all this video of media day back then, where they had it at each team site. Today's a little bit different. They have media row and all these different things, but it's pretty cool to have that video, and it's out there for the asking if the right people want to put that in some documentary that they're doing. I've got some footage.
Oh wow!
Here's a question from Katie. He said, "What's up?" She said, "What's up, chat?" She wants to know, my question for Gary is, what was your favorite moment of your career playing with the New York Giants?
Well, first of all, it was a pleasure to be selected by the Giants and to play as long as I did with them. 8 seasons. Really a tremendous career for me. Played my final season in Cincinnati in 1991, or excuse me, 1992, and it was great to play there. And people look to a couple of plays that I made. The fake punt in San Francisco in the NFC Championship game, and the goal line hit in Denver in 1989. Those two are signature plays for me. I had tons and tons more big plays like that. But I have to say that of all the plays that I made, it was fun for me to be able to be Superman for a moment and just kind of fly over the line of scrimmage in 1989 and make a huge tackle on the goal line on 4th and goal and propel us on to win that game and go on to the playoffs. So my biggest moment in fun in football right there would probably be that goal line tackle that I made in Denver in 1989.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, before we get to Joe V's question, before we get to Marin's question here, there's a question from Sean Joe V. He wants to know, can you ever see a Giants-Jets Super Bowl?
Actually, John, say it one more time.
Joe V wants to know, can you ever see a Giants-Jets Super Bowl?
A Giants-Jets Super Bowl. I can imagine it, but I don't know how close we're ever going to get. It's if it were ever to come down to that, man, what would the fanfare be like?
Yeah,
and I would actually think that. Let's just talk this through, okay? If you have a Giants and Jets Super Bowl, okay, why would you go off-site to have the Super Bowl? I think you would probably X that and say, hold on, we're not going to Pasadena. We're not going to South Florida. We're not going to Texas. We're not going anywhere. We're going to come right back here to that stadium that those two teams play in and let them play tag right there and get after it. If they did anything other than that, I think the NFL would be crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that would be epic. I mean, the last time the Jets were in the Super Bowl was 68, 69 with, the famous Joe Cool, the original Joe Cool, and Joe Namath. Yeah. And, but the closest ever.
I know. So, hey, Joe.
Yeah, I know, right? To guarantee it and then follow through on his guarantee. So that,
you talk about that potential. I think that is really, really cool to have those. Yeah. And if you could see two teams, one AFC, one NFC team, who play in the same stadium, they're the only team in the league that does that. You got to have that game there. There's no reason, no way to. I imagine that in the NFL offices, they have probably talked about this situation. Whatever happens if we're going to have a Super Bowl in Santa Clara and the Jets and the Giants are playing in the Super Bowl, and they've done all this prep work and everything out in Santa Clara, I'd say, well, I'd tell them, say, well, glad you did your prep work. You're going to be ready for next year. We're just going to push everybody out a year. We're going to play that game in the Northeast. So,
I think that would be the quickest prep time for a Super Bowl.
I agree with Gary. I think if that happens, they have to play at MetLife Stadium.
You've got to.
It would be the most high-rated, in my opinion, most high-rated Super Bowl out of all the Super Bowls that happen.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like when the Yankees and Mets faced in the World Series in 2000.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in their backyard. Two stadiums right there.
Yep.
It's exactly right.
So there's a question here from Martin. He wants to know who actually made the penalty calls on the field, you or the sideline?
Who made the penalty calls on the field? So whenever a penalty is called on the team and a team is able to accept or let go of a penalty, mostly that's going to come from the head coach. Yeah. Sometimes there's a head coach who allows the coordinators to make that accept or refuse the penalty. But mostly it's going to be the head coach. So it's not going to be on the player side. The players aren't in the game administration aspect of it. We're players. We're not there to accept a penalty. Yeah. But obviously there are penalties that are fairly obvious of what you would do, and sure, you could do those. So, but now they don't put that weight on our shoulders to make those decisions out there.
Yeah. And before we get to NY Giants Preservation Society, welcome to the chat. We'll get to your questions, but I want to switch gears a little bit. Obviously, Gary was the owner of an arena football team throughout his career. And can you talk about that, Gary, and talk about the growth of arena football? Whoever doesn't watch it, I think that league is growing also big time.
Yeah, I wasn't the owner of the team, but I started the franchise as the team president, and I was the team president for a while, but then also the first head coach of the team. So it was in Oklahoma City, and so the arena football team there, we started from scratch, and it was pretty cool to be able to build it, and we had success. We got to the playoffs first year. It's pretty cool, and a lot of little teachings that I had from my Giants days in the NFL. Brought all that full circle. That was fun for me to be able to do. It kind of challenged on my schedule, as I talked about earlier. But it was fun to do, and it kind of gave me a little bit of. It answered the question of coaching. People have asked me all the time, Gary, why aren't you coaching the National Football League? And I could have gone down that path very, very easily, but it just. For me, the coaching time and effort and commitment that these coaches make, I applaud them, first of all, but it is a tremendous burden on not only you and your time, but on your family. And it's not enough said about what coaches do and how it affects the family in the National Football League and even players to an extent. But there's so much time away from home. And I always tell people about coaches in the National Football League is that They never see their houses in the daylight. Just think about that. You never see your house during the season in the daylight because they're always gone long before the sun comes up, and they come home long after it's gone. The sun has gone down. So they burn the candle at both ends. And it's just something that the coaches have come to the realization of. They have to put in the work, and they're trying to get things accomplished, and they're trying to put players first and foremost in a position for them to succeed on the field. From their tutelage to the player to execution is the chain of events. So if they can give a nugget to a player, like Belichick would tell me, say, Gary, if you see this, do this, blah, blah, blah. I could take that, pick that up, instantly react to that, and boom, make a play. And then when we see that happening, Bill and I, thumbs up, whatever, that exactly occurred. And that happened so many times. So the coaching time and the commitment in the NFL, it's just really, really hard on families and players. And I just didn't want to go down that path.
Wow. I mean, you see these guys that do a long time, like Andy Reid and Belichick and all those greats. But yeah, it's amazing. But I want to take you back. There's a little switch gears to your broadcasting / sideline reporter. What was it like doing that in college, covering it, and for all those years?
It's just being part of the game in a different way. And it's a way to communicate what I've learned with football over the course of my collegiate and professional playing career, and bringing that forward and that communicating the game to a much, much, much wider audience. And so I always looked at broadcasting, and still do today, as just being a voice of the game to the people who are watching the game. There's no celebrations or anything up at the broadcast booth. It's all just having a conversation with your play-by-play announcer, and you sharing stories and insights about the game. And hopefully you're bringing some value that these fans who are watching on air and watching the game can take away some information that you've shared, that you found and prepared, and you tell the story. It's all about storytelling. And it's a team environment, once again, because the production team is much like a football team. You practice, you prepare, and then you execute. And that's exactly what happens in sports. You practice and you prepare for it, then you go out and you play. So for us to do a broadcast, it's very similar, and it's team oriented. And we're the play-by-play announcer and the color analyst, which I was a color analyst for over 30 years now, so still do it. I'm still calling games. It's just something that is fun to do, and I enjoy being a part of the game. And in a big instance, calling college football, it's a little bit different. The rules are different than the National Football League, but it's still very much football. The thing that I'm not really at ease with these days are transfer portal and NIL. So those things, I don't even want to talk about those on air, and we really don't. So those are two subjects that we kind of stay away from.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we got two questions from NY Giants Preservation here. He wants to know his favorite playoff game was the 49er game. He wants to know, were you surprised at the fake punt that was instrumented in that game? And also he wants to know, describe your hit against the Broncos, one of the greatest hits in Giants history.
Well, first of all, the 49ers game is the NFC Championship game. We were behind, and we needed to have a little bit of momentum. Our offense, the 49ers defense was doing a pretty good job at that point against our offense. Fourth down situation, presented itself. I was our fullback on our punt team. From the time I walked in the door for the New York Giants to the time that I left, I was out there for every single punt of my 8-year career, bar none. There's no other buddy who was out there. So I have seen everything from punt return teams, and it was instantaneous vision that I can see those things. And I knew the alignment was perfect for us to run this fake. And Bill had given me the green light. If you see it, use it if you want it. And so I audibled to the fake punt, and it was great. There was only 10 guys out there for San Francisco, and that player who where I ultimately ran through was supposed to line up there. Glad he wasn't there. Made that trip a little easier. So it all worked out. That was a big play and a big moment for us, and obviously the history spells that out. It helped propel us to win that ball game. And the Broncos game there, one of the biggest hits in Giants history. We talked about that a little bit earlier, and being able to fly over the top and hit a guy and stop him on the goal line, 4th and goal, is pretty monumental. And it's been watched millions and millions and millions of times over the last 30 plus years, and it's pretty cool to be able to have a signature play like that, and it's still talked about today. I have coaches that come up to me and tell me that we teach our defense about the relentlessness that you exhibited in that game and on that series in particular with that play, and that is how we teach our players to play. There's not a bigger thank you that I could receive from exhibiting that play than hearing those types of comments from coaches who are teaching football.
Well, yeah. I mean, it just reminds me when I went in middle school playing modified football, and our head coach, he'd always say this one phrase over and over: if they can't score, they can't win.
True.
And, it was true, but it was just like he would say it over, like the relentlessness you're talking about, just on defense. You play to the football, you play until the whistle's blown.
Hey, Chef Nick, what are you cooking up for us today?
Yeah. Hey, are you going to prepare a meal for Gary Reasons, 2-time Super Bowl champion? Come on.
All right. We'll check you out next time, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chef Nick is a big part of the show too. He's part of the panel, and he does a great job with everything. And here is Joe, Gary. This is Joe Bengoya, the godfather of the show here. So,
Gary, I want to welcome you to the show. Thank you so much for taking a little time from your busy schedule. It's an honor, a pleasure to have you on the show. And anybody that's a Super Bowl champion or a champion is just it's an honor and a privilege. And I just wanted to come up and thank you so much. And anytime you want to talk football and you have a few minutes, we would love to have you on anytime, anywhere. And we will cook for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nick will cook Greek. I will cook you Italian.
There you go.
So I have a couple of my the delicacies that I like, already out there. It's good.
I'll make you. Well, Nitin can tell you. I'll make you a mean baked ziti.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So anytime you're in New York and you're around, we would love to have you. And I mean that with all my heart. I just wanted to come up. I didn't mean to stop the stream, but it was felt.
You have a question for Gary, Joe?
Yeah. Actually, I have one big question, Gary. Do you like the fact, because I get a lot of this, they call the New York Giants and the New York Jets, but you mentioned it. That's why I'm bringing this up. Is it fair that they should be playing in Jersey and not have a New York home? How are your feelings about that, being a Giant, Super Bowl player? How do you feel about that?
Well, as a player coming to the area, you're not coming to the New Jersey or the New York area for whatever reason. You're coming to the New York metropolitan area. Okay, that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. So way back when the franchises both of them began in the state of New York. So that's what they're holding on to is that origination and that legacy. Economics are the reason why they moved across the river, and ease of performance and their business operations, warranted them making those moves. So the Giants were first, the Jets were second. And, regardless, they're still New York metropolitan area franchises. Sure, there's history, there's legacy for both franchises squarely in New York, but there's no less legacy in New Jersey across the river. I don't see it that way, and I think the teams and the ownership probably would agree. They have a lot more family and history relationship than I certainly have. But being a part of that team for the past 40 plus years, I'm just it's just part of the New York metropolitan area. Fans of the team, we don't tell them where they have to be or live or whatever. It's still a name, the New York Football Giants, founded in 1925, and it's going to stay there. The Jets, similarly, with all their history and legacy in New York and in the Northeast, it's just that. So, Joe, I don't see any issue with it whatsoever. And I don't think that fans should take any type of position or stance one way or the other. And sure, there's the young people in New Jersey who grow up, young people today who may not know the history, and they then take a stance and they post it on social media. Why are these Giants here and they're New York and all that rhetoric. I don't, that's just showing a little bit of perhaps their lack of perspective.
Right, but on the other hand, and then I'll end this question. But on the other hand, the Giants, with their history and everything. Now, this is coming from my heart. Okay, they should have their own stadium. The Jets should have their own stadium. So I think it's powwow to the city councils and all of that. You can build new Shea Stadium, new Yankee Stadium, new this, new Garden, new this, but you can't worry about the Jets and the Giants, and they have to be in that one stadium where the Giants have their own identity and the Jets should have their own identity. Maybe I'm thinking old-fashioned. I don't know. That's just the way I feel.
Well, the Giants and Jets have made it work. It's still a little clumsy for me to walk into that stadium if it's clad in green, and probably for some of the Jets alumnus who come in there and they see it's clad in blue. Let's first of all say this: for a lot of the alumni and the guys in my era, we didn't play in that stadium at all because it's a new stadium. Yeah, but. We have history in the old Giant Stadium, but still right there in the Meadowlands in the same parking lot. It's no different. But I could go either way on this as far as having your own stadium. But I'll tell you this: I actually think that the New York metropolitan area, be it New York, New Jersey, be it the New York Giants and the New York Jets, and I'll say this publicly. I believe they made a big mistake in how they built that stadium to begin with. You are underutilizing one of the most tremendous facility opportunities in the world by how you constructed it. And it's such a narrow thinking to not put a cover on it, air condition it, make it much better than what I have here in Dallas, Texas, in AT&T Stadium with Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. That is a blueprint for what could be and improved on, in a footprint in the Northeast, and certainly the economics could handle it. Yeah, and I think that there was a huge mistake there. When I go into to MetLife Stadium, and I walk in the concourse and I look up and I'm seeing electric rails and I'm seeing all of this steel and all of this stuff that is, there's no effort been made to make it more fan friendly, more fan engaging, more fan conducive. I think that they really miss the opportunity. Now, when you walk out the tunnel and you see the seats and the stands and the field, that is a first-class facility. But when you go out of there, it's not. If you're at a suite level, though, those amenities are fine inside those suite levels. But for the general fan that are sitting in all those seats outside in that stadium, they are subjected to what's underneath, and it's not pleasant. I'll just give you that. It's not pleasant, and that's just my experience. And I've been there many times, and every time I walk away from that stadium, I'm scratching my head. How did they get this wrong? How did they get this wrong? I'd like to hear what you guys think about that.
No, I agree with you, because I grew up. I'm a little older than these young pups that are with me here. But I mean, I actually, as a little boy, I mean, I saw Franz Hawkinson in Yankee Stadium. So I mean, I mean, my first ball game was Mickey Mantle's retirement. So that's as far as I go. And I was very, very young, but I remember everything. I loved it. But I just would like, and to be totally honest with you, I am a big Dallas Cowboy fan. I've been that for a very long time. But I also covered the Giants and the
Am I on the right program here? I mean,
Yeah.
but I respect and love you. So, believe me. No, I just love those rivalries. They're fantastic. They really
Oh, yeah. And Gary, I agree with you when it comes to the stadium talk. And Jerry Jones, he definitely set the blueprint of the new stadium. And obviously, you have the big jumbo screen in the middle. Everybody loves that screen, and everybody thinks that stadium is the most beautiful design stadium that's put
it's
together.
A blueprint, Ethan. It's a blueprint for people, what they can do.
Yeah.
And what they've done in Las Vegas, what they've done in Southern California.
Yep.
Those two facilities are tremendous, and they're all year round stadiums.
Mhm.
That place up there, not the case.
And that's why I'm already looking forward to next year's Super Bowl, because I can't wait to see SoFi Stadium. The way they designed that too. I'm really looking forward to see the dimensions of that one, and maybe it could be a close comparison to Jerry Stadium. But as of now, I think the Dallas Cowboys Stadium is on the top right now.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the old Meadowlands, or the old Giant Stadium. I've seen it in person, but yeah, it's just when the Jets were good in the late '90s and early 2000s, and they played at the Meadowlands, as they called it. It was a lot better, but now when you look at it kind of from the aerial shots, you're like wondering, how did they, why did they construct it a certain way? You think they would have took advantage of the area and the aesthetics, but I don't know if that came down to what the owners, both Mr. Mara and Mr. Johnson, what they negotiated with the contractors, or I don't know, but I mean, there was a certain feel like when you were near that stadium, when Giant Stadium, when you saw it. Yeah. When you saw it, it was pretty nice, but
old Giant Stadium was a lot more a little bit more fan friendly, I would say. It's a lot more, I would call it, intimate. It's not as expansive as what the new stadium is. This stadium is probably 25 to 30% larger in footprint.
Oh.
Frozen? Yeah, it's on.
I think he froze.
Well, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
I'm back. So I was just ranting here about the stadium, and I don't really know what happened, between the Jets and Giants, the leadership there, and then the municipalities that be in, whether it's the state of New Jersey or the city of East Rutherford, and how that all came to be as far as financing. All that should be irrelevant. You got to have a thought of what's this facility going to be used for long term, and I'm really surprised that they just don't have that roof on top.
Well, yeah, and then now you hear, how Mr. Clark Hunt is taking the Chiefs out of Arrowhead
Yep.
And they're building a stadium in the Kansas side of Kansas City.
No.
Well, I've been in that stadium and I've been around it quite a bit even on some business trips post playing my days, and it's a unique stadium. It's kind of historic in its own right, and it reminds me a lot of the old Giant Stadium. So just kind of think of it in those terms. It's got its fans. There's a lot of people that are fans of the Chiefs that really like that stadium. But there's an evolution of sports, and there's an evolution of franchises, and moving across the river. And, I don't know if you've spent much time in the Kansas City area, but there's a river that goes through there, and it's the town essentially is separated by that, and there's a little bit of playing back and forth of what side of the river something's going to be built on, and my teammate Mark Collins lives out there, and so I see a bunch of his posts, and some of those things are happening about in and around Kansas and Kansas City, and the things that he's working on with the Chiefs. He's been part of that organization a little bit, so I just kind of stay up on it. But with a new stadium there, they're going to just move right on, and so I think that for every community that has a National Football League team, it behooves them to maintain and create a new facility, because the biggest game in town in the United States is NFL football. There's no doubt about that. It is absolutely that. Guys, you guys know this, but you're doing a sports podcast, and baseball fandom is taking a hit. NBA fandom is taking a hit. Hockey is taking a hit. NFL, it's like its trajectory is like this. It's still growing, and how they're growing it now with growing it globally, and they're growing towards a model that educates youth and female interest in the game. So they have a very direct method of how they're trying to grow the game. Or the other sports, they're just not matching the intrigue and the I don't know, the sexability of the sexiness of the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, I'm glad that you brought that up. I have to bring this up because it was a big topic on this show. I think you may not think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal to restaurant owners and all. Why would they put the Super Bowl next year on probably the best and greatest day that you should be with your friends and your family on Valentine's Day? I think that is disgusting. And I'm sorry, I have to say the way I feel. Why would they take that away from the others?
It comes down to the NFL calendar.
Yep.
And that's going to drive everything. It doesn't matter what holiday falls on that particular Sunday. The NFL calendar is going to start when they want to, late July or August, to get into training camp and so forth, and move that forward. You got a 17-week season now, and NFL games, and they're wanting to move it further to 18 weeks.
Yeah.
So trying to stretch that season out. I think the NFLPA is kind of up in arms about that. Me as a player, recovery and body preparation, it's really, really hard to keep the body in shape all that time, and the recovery time is really critical. And it's just a longer season at a high pace, tough game like that, adding extra games. It's gonna take its toll on players, and unfortunately, we're seeing some of that. So, but having it fall on a day, that's just a calendar. And to me, I think it'll be pretty cool, because it will give the marketers something to really kind of paint the picture of the NFL being played on a storied holiday, and incorporate all that into the backgrounds and the scenery and all of the play here. And I think that there'll be a tremendous sales opportunity with co-branded items with NFL and Valentine's merchandise.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that other side of it. But I think
maybe you get a proposal on during the game. Somebody on the Megatron.
Well, that happened this past Super Bowl.
There was a wedding at the halftime show.
Yep, somebody proposed.
I thought Nathan got married.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. That was me in the on the what do you call that board? That was me proposing to that lady. That was me, and Bad Money invited me there too last second.
No,
But yeah. So a couple more things before we let Gary go. I know he's busy, but I'm just curious. As everybody knows in this chat, I have 9 mentors, and one of my mentors is Lennon Marshall. He played with Gary Reasons. And I'm just curious. I haven't got a chance to ask this to Leonard, but have you guys gone back and forth to see who had the better hit in Giants history?
No, we don't. We never talk in those terms because we were all cohesive. We were team. Sure, we all have personal plays and accolades that we've come across and have been bestowed upon us. We're congratulatory to everybody about all of those things, and there's no trumping, trying to get a little bit of upsmanship on one of my teammates because of a play or not play, and so no. So I think they're just tremendous historic moments in the history of the New York Giants, and I've made some key unique plays, and some plays I'm more proud of, structurally and defense wise that I've made perhaps than some of those that have been portrayed as some of the biggest, most notable plays. But that's for another subject and story. But behind the scenes. So to answer your question, it's not something that we ever really do, because when we get back together, first of all, we don't see each other all the time.
Yeah,
we are connected on social media and so forth and stuff. And we're growing up with the kids today in the digital age and so forth, and we're trying to get there. We didn't have an email list of back then in the 1980s and early 90s. We didn't have a phone list that we could text everybody one single message and boom, you can do it. So we have some of those email chains now we've created over time, but they're just a little bit. But we do stay together, and good that we have the championship histories to be able to come back. This year being the 40th anniversary of our Super Bowl 21 team, we will be back, I'm sure, for a couple of things to be involved and be a part of each other. I'm doing some things that's going to bring me back to the Northeast, and happy to share with you about what I'm doing right now, if that's something we can talk with.
Yeah. So, before we get to that, will you be at the Woodbridge Brewing Company event, the Giants reunion?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, so probably not. I'm in Texas, and so.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
What is that something upcoming here?
Yeah. So in Woodbridge, New Jersey, they're doing a big Giants reunion event. Leonard is part of it. I think Lawrence Taylor, Otis Anderson, Bart Oates. I gotta look at the list, but they're doing a big reunion there.
When is the date? When is the date of that?
Let me. I'll bring it up to you right now. Hold on. Let's see. I have it right. May 30th and the 31st.
Yeah. So maybe it's just for a select number of players that they have. I don't know what they have and why they didn't reach out to me. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Okay. Maybe that's coming. Maybe you can say, "Hey, what about Gary?"
Yeah, I'm gonna mention why put some respect on Gary's name. He was part of that team. Come on,
Nathan's gonna pencil in Gary on the list.
I can mention that to them and see why. How come you haven't reached out to Gary yet? But speaking of projects, and I'm glad to be part of this. And Gary put me onto this project, and I'm already working on some venues for him. So he has a book called Reasons to Believe, and also he's a keynote speaker. He's open to doing speaking engagements, and I'm glad to be part of this project. And Gary, thank you for believing in me, and I'm already reaching out to venues for you when it comes to booking this. And but to speak on the project that you're working on, and obviously trying to speak in different venues, and also your book, Reasons to Believe.
Yeah. It's really just, for me, it's a culmination of all of the experience that I've had in my professional football career and my 30 years in broadcasting and my business career, bringing all those things together that I've learned, and I want to be able to share knowledge, transfer knowledge. So I've penned a book. It's called Reasons to Believe, an inspirational path to winning. And it's a really insightful, chance for me to be able to share about a lot of topics. I've actually created a platform under Reasons to Believe, and it's a leadership consulting entity, and that's where I help leaders understand how to operate and perform under pressure in winning moments and those types of environments, and then trying to share that preparedness with others about how to go through that. And it's even bubbled down now, Nathan. I haven't shared this with you yet.
Yeah.
I've even brought this going to be bringing this into the educational curriculum potentially across the country, because I've got a framework, a couple of frameworks that are really astounding, that can be brought into not only in the corporate world and the chamber world, speaking to chambers of commerce and stuff across the country, and then particularly in the Northeast, and then to corporate and business executives. But when you have all these things that I'm talking about, and when you guys see the book, you'll see what it is. And I'm going to share some of these concepts at a youth level to give them inspiration and reason and ways to set goals very effectively. And it'll be there for the rest of their life. This systematic approach that I bring to it, and I'm really proud of what this is turning out to be, and it's something that I really look at. So check out GaryReasons.com. You'll see where I'm at. You'll see where I'm going, and if I can help any of your engagements or events that you're working on as a speaker or an attendee or someone just to share some wisdom with you guys, I'm happy to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll definitely send them the website for you guys. And Gary, I just want to say thank you for joining the YankeeMania show with Joe and Sean and everybody else here. Thank you for taking the time, and definitely obviously stay connected, and we will love to have you come back here on the show and
sure
and talk about more the Giants draft or whatever. And if you guys didn't know, he was on the other show I work with, the Job on the Mouse show. He was on our show, Job on the Mouse show last week. So go check that out. Gary was on there. He had a great segment there. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to working with Gary more with the speaking engagements, and I'll keep you guys posted when everything is finalized. But I'm already reaching out to venues as we speak, and I think this is a great opportunity for everyone to learn more about Gary Reasons and his book, and obviously speaking about his history and his career and all. So it's a good thing for people to learn. And I'm going to definitely send out the website to everyone so people can see it too. So Gary, like I said, thank you again for joining the show. And you're the best. You're a legend. And by the way, I already texted the owner of Woodbridge, and I said, are you interested to have Gary Reasons part of that event May 30th and 31st?
There you go. A little nudge always helps. Appreciate it, Ethan.
No problem.
Oh yeah, question about it. No, we really appreciate it. And Gary, if there's anything that we could promote or help you do, just say the word. We're here for you. The minute people come on this show, they become automatic family to us. So whatever we could do to help, all you have to do is just say it. Say, hey, you have this. We have a community. We put it on our community. I could talk about it, and we'll have you on again when you have something big, especially in the city area or wherever you are. Someplace.
I think post the draft, we'll start leading up to the season here. You'll be wanting to have me back, talk about the book, the positioning, all the different stuff that's going on with that, and leading up to the Giants season. This is going to be special. I think this season is going to have a lot of opportunities for us to celebrate a new team, a new leadership, a new direction with the New York Football Giants. Under Coach Harbaugh, and some of the players that were brought on last year in this draft that's upcoming is going to hopefully yield some good additions. But I think the Giants are positioned well for this upcoming season to possibly break through and maybe get into the playoffs. And you never know. You never know if you can build some character, culture in a quick way. And I think Coach Harbaugh has had a chance to do that. Could be a great season for the Giants. And Joe. Ziti might not be good. Ziti might not be good for the waistline. I like it. I love it. I'm gonna have to eat it in moderation, though.
I can make you other things. I was just going to say this. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. So if the Giants win the Super Bowl, you definitely got to come for dinner, without a doubt. I mean, you could come anytime, but the special occasion, you have to come, and we'll make you whatever you want. You want raviolis, you want baked ziti, you want chicken parm, eggplant parm, whatever you'd like. Between Chef Nick and myself, you are going to have a feast.
Yeah, we'll have a Giants reunion at Joe's house if the Giants bring leather power banks.
That might be dangerous, man, but I think
Island isn't too bad.
I think most of us have learned that we have to eat in moderation as we get a little older. We're not moving as much, and we have to kind of pare that back a little bit. So,
well, that's the next thing. That's the next thing that I wanted to touch base with. I know you have to go. That's why we'd love to have you back, because we have a couple of questions here that I think are really important. Came in late.
Come on,
and that is about health. When you finish playing, it's got to be very smart for you or any player to see a doctor at least once or twice a year to make sure everything is good in the head, everything is good in the chest, and the areas that you were pounded on. And I didn't want to keep you, but I want that for the next show. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I can give you a lot of perspective from the NFLPA's perspective, the NFL players' perspective, really post playing days and what really needs to happen. There are quite a few benefits that the players have available to us to go through some of those things, Joe. I actually just underwent one last August out of New Orleans, and I did an extensive, a very extensive screening of my entire body. So those things are available to players. And I can discuss all of those and share some of that methodology. It may share more about men's health and men, what you need to look at and kind of be that kind of a good steward of good actions and things to think about of how to take care of yourself. But I'll give this one nugget that I've kind of learned to live by, and it's only been recently in the last 3 or 4 years that I've been a part about this is that get away from processed foods. Have to get away from processed foods. Yes. It is killing our country. It's killing us, and our obesity levels in the U.S. and are far greater than anywhere in the world. And it's all because of the marketing and the manufacturing of processed foods and dumped on us. And they're instructing us to eat 3, 4, 5 meals a day. You get those snacks between breakfast and lunch and dinner. It's just bringing more and more consumption to you, and we're not eating the right things. So I'm not going to preach on this, but I think it's wonderful.
I would love to have a show with you, because I'll tell you the truth. And again, I just had relatives a few months ago visit from Italy. And when they sat down and they had a few of the items that is popular there, they asked me, they said, I don't understand something. In Italy, it's the same box with 3 ingredients. Why over here there's 15? And look at the sugar. Are you kidding me?
You can't even read those names on those boxes. You don't even know what they are.
Right.
Let me leave you with this thing, and you're gonna want me back to talk about this. About 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, I stepped on the scale, and I saw a 3, a 2, and a 4. 324, and I'm like, oh my God. Well, since then, I have lost 65, 70 pounds, almost 70 pounds, just by being descriptive of how and understanding how and why and what you eat and when you eat and timing and things like that. And I'm not Superman. I'm not different than any other guy out there. It's just choice. It's just structure. It's just how you do things. And it's the marketers that are killing us. And it's all that processed food, and we all have them in our pantries. We hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I apologized to my kids. I really did. I said, we poisoned you while you were growing up. Just think about it. You poisoned your kids while you're growing up. You were teaching them bad habits because of the marketing and stuff that was brought on to us. And it is real. And if we have a chance to change this, let's talk about it. Let's have a chance to talk about it.
You now, that's it. You did it. We got to have you back.
That would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a ton of questions for you.
And also, I don't know if you saw the Mike Tyson Super Bowl commercial with when he was talking about the produced food. There you go. The produced food. He's big into that now too. So that's a big segue that we could, into the next show. Talk about Mike Tyson also being a big part of that produced food, I should say.
Well,
yeah.
We got
processed food. We don't want processed food.
Processed food, yeah.
No, we don't. I mean, you go in the freezer and you see, like, and I don't want to mention. I hate mentioning names because, let's say Weight Watchers or something. You look at the sodium, 975. Are you kidding me? And then you want your blood pressure and your sodium to be down? If you eat one of those a day, do you realize you have like 8,000 points of sodium in your body? How are you going to get rid of that? And how are you going to lose weight? And it's just unbelievable. But that we definitely, I'm totally I'm psyched. I really would love that to discuss that with you and all these things as an athlete and as a person every day after your athlete days. And it's great. And I just want to thank you. And I always say Nitin brings a lot, just about all the guests to our show. And I always say it can't be topped, the next person, but you've topped what we've had before, which I just, and I say it and it's like it just gets better and better. So I have to thank you. I mean, this was an inspirational show, and you got me to like the Giants.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can like the Giants. Those Cowboys, down the street here, just got to kick into the curb.
Well, yes, but
we can also talk about one word that I'll share with you that's going to be really pretty cool when you understand it, and it's a simple word. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you hanging right there. We're going to end the show on that one, but I'll talk about yes and what it means, and you'll love it.
It's not the Yes Network. Oh, yeah. Just kidding. We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. We'll plan this soon. But
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. God bless
you,
your family, everybody, all your friends. And I know we're a couple of months in the new year, but Happy New Year to you, your family, and I hope it's one of the best you've ever had.
Go Giants! 40th anniversary of our Super Bowl 21 team. It's going to be a fun year.
Oh,
you got it. You have a great one, and stay well.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gary.
Wow, that was great. That was great. Nitin, as I keep saying, it just gets better and better and better and better.
I told you guys. I told you guys. My team and I have endless possibilities for you guys. So stay tuned.
Oh yes.
Well, we've got to have him back.
We do.
And also, guys, we got some big breaking news here in the NFL when it comes to the Dolphins. They just released Tyreek Hill, the wide receiver, and they also released Bradley Chubb. So I guess they're setting out money and then trying to rebuild here. So now Tyreek Hill's a free agent. Now whoever wants a wide receiver, I think this guy he still has it. So if I were like the team like the Giants or the Cowboys, whoever, go get that receiver, Tyreek Hill, man.
Yeah, I mean the only problem with Tyreek Hill is the off-field drama.
I know that's true, but he's a game changer. But that's some breaking news. And Joe had some breaking news earlier on the baseball side. And the Padres are all of a sudden signing all these free agents. They just signed Nick Castellanos, and now they're signing Ty France. Where are they going to put all these players? Hold on. So they were talking about Nick playing first base also. But now they're good. AJ Preller is known to be crazy when it comes to moves. So
and he just got an extension like a half hour ago.
Who?
Right.
AJ.
Oh wow. So
Yeah, no. And
Extension.
then there's one other breaking news
yeah.
for the World
NY
Baseball
Mania's going
Classic.
wild, baby.
Oh yeah. Well,
Woo!
for the World Baseball Classic in March, Team USA just got one more committed player.
Who?
Joe Mingoya.
The Red Sox, Roman Anthony, has just committed to the Team USA for the WBC a month from now.
Let's go.
And they yes, they want Joe to be their manager with the in the shadows with the Mark DeRosa.
The Italian and the connection. No, but that's off. But I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
But
no, I mean,
these
you know,
guests just amaze me, and I know I cannot. I am so looking forward to Friday. You have no idea. I'm counting the hours.
Hey guys,
I
Oh, yeah.
cannot wait
Today on the guest-
for our guest.
today on the Yes at Work, Aaron Boone and Aaron Judge is available for questions. So
the Aaron.
30.
it doesn't say the time. It says following after the team workout.
Yeah,
And it's going to be about
the
12.
Aaron.
Yeah. We have an announcement on a guest change, right?
Yeah. So So my work colleague from Nation's Best NIL Dream Team, Bria, should instead of joining Wednesday, she'll be joining Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern now.
Okay, so it's going to be the same link. It's going to be the same, everybody. I'm just going to change the day.
Yeah. So something
right.
came up with their work thing, so she has to switch it to Thursday. So
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to that.
thank you. Please, guys, get your questions ready first. She's amazing. She's the best, and obviously,
We got two beautiful guests coming Thursday and Friday. I'm excited.
And Friday, my team and I also booked our other client, Jess Blaylock. She is one of the best to ever do it, and she is a former Miami Marlins host, but now she's the current Florida Panthers host. So she'll be joining here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern on Friday. My team and I, we're glad that we can help you guys out, and I think Cruise Control is excited too because he has some Florida with that. So, guys, get your questions ready for her. She's excited for this. So back-to-back woman in sports, and obviously Bria, she's amazing, going places, and I already love working with her at the Nation's Best. So,
I like about Jess, everyone. Yep. She is a firecracker, and guess
she
what?
Loves coffee. She loves her coffee just like Joe.
Coffee, like me in the morning.
What?
And we are gonna crack this station up, baby.
What?
We are gonna. Yeah, you heard it. Yeah, we're gonna crank it up. Crank it up.
Yeah.
Because we are ready, baby. We are ready. Wake up, everyone. You know, they say the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Well, the best part of waking up is YankeeMania in your cup, baby. That's what it's all about. Just a few fast things, though. Guys, we will let you know a little bit later on about a show possibly tonight. We don't know what's going on yet, but we will keep you posted. There's also Nitin will tell you about Jobber in the Mouth.
Yeah, tonight is our Job in the Mouth. Tonight is our Job in the Mouth show at 6:45. And today we'll be joined by current Las Vegas Raiders running back Dylan Lawby. So, and then also Gary Reason just texted us saying, "Guys, you were genuine. He really enjoyed the show."
Tell him it was an honor and a privilege, and we really appreciate it. He's a true legend.
And the next time that he's on, we're definitely going to make the topic health. Health all around, and I'm really looking forward to that. Everybody really should be tuned in.
Maybe we can. Maybe we can add other client of Bernie Kosar to that show along with Gary Reasons.
I was just thinking that. Yeah. I was literally thinking that like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. But that would be awesome. Yeah, why not? Of course.
No, trust me. I'll tell you. You know, health is important, especially when you've been in professions that beat up your body.
football, wrestling, boxing. You've got to be checked out when you're done. You have to be.
Well,
Too many body slams, too many hits to the head. I mean, it's no joke.
Wow.
It really isn't.
The Dolphins are going off by releasing players. They just released wide receiver Nick Westbrook icon also. Icon, and they also released guard James Daniels.
Wow.
Did they just release Ayuk?
No.
Ayuk.
No, that's a 49ers player.
No. Okay. Oh, the 49ers.
They released Tyreek Hill, and then their other receiver, Nick Westbrook.
Oh, Westbrook. Okay. Yeah, and then they had Achan or Aiken as a running back.
They still have him, I think.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think they are, and I think what it is they're trying to get under cap.
I think they're in rebuild mode now.
Yeah, that too. And I mean, because so many of those guys getting hurt, they had the whole track field that could run the Olympics.
Yeah.
But they all got hurt. Waddle's hurt.
So
Tyreek got hit.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting now to see what happens there if they trade Waller or not now.
Yeah.
But real quick, before I want to get your take on where do you think Ty France would play now with the Padres? It's a minor league contract, by the way.
I think he'll be a first baseman, backup first baseman with Crohn's work.
If Castellanos doesn't work out.
Yeah.
France
But
will
I
be
think
all of a sudden they're on a spending spree again. It's crazy.
It's unbelievable. They're like the west side of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
You mean the south side?
It would be great for the Padres to give the Dodgers all they can handle.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. I think that's what they're doing. Is they're gonna be a thorn in the side of the Dodgers all season long. Who knows how the Giants are gonna come out in the season?
Well, I want the Giants to do well after the Yankees beat them with 3 games over there.
Yeah.
Then
right in front of us to return the corner. Come on, let's go.
Don't sleep on the snakes over in Arizona.
Yeah,
they're always possible.
They got Nolan. They got Nolan Arenado now. So.
And who knows? Maybe the Rockies will pull off a miraculous turnaround and actually compete. But no, I mean, and I'm looking forward, Joe, to our 30-30 or
the
30 on 30. Yeah, it's kind of weird saying it in rapid succession, especially when I'm tired.
It says here, Emma Rodriguez has impressed in these early days of camp.
I'm looking forward. ERC and Lagrange.
Yeah.
Or Lagrange, however you pronounce his name. Those two, I see them pushing the envelope for breaking with the camp. Breaking with the team.
I don't think Elmer Fudd is going to make it yet.
Not yet. I don't know. Depending.
That's why I'm saying they'll push the envelope like they're.
Unless he has a great spring. Unless
that, but you know what? I'm really excited with the whole news with Garrett Cole ahead of schedule. Coltrane back on the tracks, baby.
Yeah. Oh, ready for this, guys? Here's another good sign here. It's Brendan Cuddy, right? Brendan Cuddy, the reporter.
Yeah.
Jake Bird disappointed at the trade deadline, but this spring, the Yankees reliever Jake Bird has been looking nasty.
Yeah, he looked great. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Also, I saw the tape. Fireside Yankees put out the short video. Camilo DeBall.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Oh my God! Like I said, I mentioned this on the stream. I told you guys, if DeVal and Bird can show something, that bullpen is going to be lethal. I'm telling you.
And then whatever we get with Shabali.
Head at the Yankees are all going to wash their mouths. They're all going to wash their mouths. I'm telling you right now.
We got breaking news here from Jason.
Well, you remember who?
Yeah.
You remember who called it first, though?
Yeah. Oh, you did, right?
No. I gotta give credit to Ken from Yankee.
Yep, there you go.
He's been on all off season.
Here's some news here. Jason, National signed Drew Smith to a minor league deal. Okay.
Thank you, Jason. Hey, Jason, I hope you like the the little short that I started putting out for you being introduced as our Met guy here on the. I hope you enjoy it because I think it's well and it's being well received, by the way. So
and also, Jason, if you're up for it, we'll try and get you some of our Mets clients on the show so you can interview them too, Jason.
Yeah, there you go. And let's not forget Wednesday night here with our very own Sean Browning, 6:30 Wednesday night.
Charles.
Yeah, and with Charles, the main man, and we're both excited, and even Joe's really excited. Everybody's excited on the panel, and I know the chat's super excited, and we can't wait to debut it on Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. But we're gonna cover from 1903 to 1923, just the Yankees, that 20-year window. We're probably going to focus on when they actually took on the name Yankees instead of the Highlanders. So that from 1913 to 1923 window. But look forward to it. It's going to be fired up. I'm telling you that because at YankeeMania and YankeeMania, we're wild and we're going to run them wild. So run wild with us.
Yeah, baby.
So take your vitamin, pray. And take your vitamin. I said it backwards, but you know what I'm.
Wild thing. You gotta make my heart sing.
We will let everyone know. If we do come on a little later on, talk a little bit more Yankee news and the Yankee notes, and we may talk Mets also. So tell all your Met fans out there, please join in, and anybody else that would like us to cover and talk about teams. This is the time to do it, baby. It's spring training, so please do that. And now tomorrow's show. Tomorrow we're going to be coming on at 5 p.m. Everyone, 5 p.m. As we indulge in another week, but if the Yankees make some headlines and make some news, we will definitely come on either regular time or earlier.
5 p.m. guys, because my team and I booked our client Tommy Green for tomorrow, former Phillies pitcher and no-hit king. So our client Tommy will be joining here tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Tomorrow it's baseball talk all day, baby. Baseball. We got it all.
And by the way, stay tuned because I was delayed a little bit posting a video or getting a video set up for my history channel, True Historian, because the work was hectic all last week. But I'm going to be working on that, and then in the next few days, it will be coming out. So stay tuned for that.
Also, it would be nice if you have it out by Wednesday night, and you could talk about it in your history show.
Yep.
There you go. But guys, just a couple of quick things before we end the chat. But we'll keep watching the news. We'll see the Yankee press conference. See Aaron Judge, what he's got to say, how healthy he is, what he thinks about this team, and I want to thank everybody in the chat. I know that a lot of people were listening and watching this broadcast. They were very intent of hearing what Gary had to say. So thank you so much.
Yeah, guys, you guys did a great job with the interaction and the questions also for Gary.
Yes,
he enjoyed the show too. So
no, it was excellent, guys. So thank you again, and we'll keep in touch with you. We'll let you know. Worst comes to worst, we have our next show tomorrow. I would say like 5 minutes before 5 p.m. as Tommy Green, Mr. No-Hit himself, will be on to talk about that venture and about his playing days. And then any Yankee news, of course. So stay with us. We've got a big week, and I'm excited for each and every one of our guests. It's going to be a really beautiful ride, everyone. First thing I'm going to do is I got to change that time that day with the same link. So if you see Bree's link All I'm doing is changing the day. It's the same link. So if you wrote anything in there already, don't worry about it. It stays. So thank you, everyone. Guys, quickly, any final thoughts before we say goodbye and have a great lunch, everyone? So anybody? Sean, any fast words, Nitin, before we go?
I just got one question.
Yeah.
What you gonna do when Yankee Mania is gonna run wild on you?
Let's go.
Great. You're right. And you guys got to answer that, everyone. So thank you. God bless you all. God bless America. God bless Gary Reasons. Thank you so much for a wonderful, wonderful stream. Nitin and your team, thank you a million times for bringing so many superstars for us.
Yep, no problem. Please continue liking and subscribing to this show. And also subscribe to our Job in the Mouse show. Big things are happening for both shows. Our Job in the Mouse show is tonight at 6:45. And also, please, big things are happening at our nation's best NIL Dream Company. So stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned for more of our clients joining here. And obviously, I'm an agent now, so we rep all these people. So stay tuned, guys. And you guys are the best. Keep it up. And we'll keep you guys updated throughout the day.
You got it. Take care, everyone. Let's go, Yankees.